Hello, everybody. Welcome to Highland, the Beavis and Bitt-Head rewatch podcast. My name is Chris Paul.
And I'm Drew Mulkins. What up, humans?
This is our season 2 wrap-up episode here. We're going to go over our top 5 and our top bottom, and then a couple that were just kind of earworms.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of these middling episodes where we had we both had 2.5, 3 stars on them.
Yeah.
Where they're just kind of like right in the middle.
Yeah.
But one specifically is a little controversial. Because we went over our list before we started recording again, and I realized that no laughing was like just right in the middle.
Yeah, it's not on either one of our top or bottom 5s. It's kind of a middle episode for this season. Its reputation is like there's better stuff here. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's I think you had to be around Beavis and Butt-Head's age in later middle school or early high school at the time of this, and there's always specific types of guys that are like, I love no laughing.
Yeah, and I've encountered these people, and they're very set in their ways.
It's kind of a
I didn't expect us to start talking about this.
We'll get into into our top 5 and bottom, but
on the other hand, I could see one of those guys like watching our top 5 and just getting madder and madder.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to put it out there up front before we give ours, because so you're not expecting it to be in the in one of them.
The people who think it's the best episode, the funniest episode of Beavis and Butt-Head that has ever been made, we disagree. Sorry,
I don't mean it necessarily in a bad way when I say a specific type of guy, but it's a certain age, and it's because I feel like a lot it's a nostalgia thing for this one too, because if you're grading it just as a written episode, there's really no consequence or nothing really comes of it.
Yeah, and like I was saying, you get 3 classes for the punishment. You should get 3 classes or 3 classes of them getting punished or getting into trouble. You should show 3 classes of them having to not laugh through. That's my opinion. I think structurally,
they should have
added the second half feels rushed. There's really good animation in the one segment, but there's 6 music videos in the second half. Like, they could have done more.
Yeah, I think a similar scene with Van Driesen could have been pretty funny.
Yeah. And like I was saying, off camera, the principal mentions that there's a history teacher that has given up on teaching them the gay 90s. I think if they brought him in and was using this as his opportunity to teach the gay 90s, I think that would have been a good callback. I think that would have been a funny joke.
Yes, finally I could teach the gay 90s. And
yeah, exactly.
Peace.
Yeah, there was even set up for there to be more content there. I don't know.
Yeah, I think look, like I'm not saying it sucks. It's still very funny, the buzz cut bit that's iconic. There's definitely iconic images that come out of this.
This buzz cut doesn't come off great in this season. his scenes are funny, but they're in episodes that kind of come up short for me in one way or another. He'll go on to, kick me in the Jimmy. There's some like really great stuff with him later, but yeah, he does not float this episode the way a lot of people think he does, in my opinion.
Yeah. I truly, I think a lot of the love for this one is being that age and like, the potty words and them,
him yelling, a guy on TV yelling penis and vagina. That's amazing.
I feel like,
it's not, but
I feel like there's different kinds of Beavis and Butt-Head fans.
Yeah.
And some of those are people who have the exact same sense of humor as Beavis and Butt-Head.
Yeah.
And not as so much as the show.
Yeah.
As characters.
Yeah, they relate too much. And it is like the funniest thing they've ever seen. So, like, that's the funniest thing Beavis and Butt-Head have ever had to deal with.
Yeah.
Is this guy yelling penis and vagina in their face. And then they have to go on a field and say, he said penis, he said vagina. But that's literally, I think if that is your favorite episode, you have that mindset. He said penis. Oh my God.
Yeah. Look, there's a place for all those words.
Yeah.
Everything. I think you know what I'm saying out there. But it for sure is it's an iconic episode.
Yeah.
For one reason or another.
But I think there's more iconic episodes in this season.
Yeah, there's definitely they're in here.
Yeah, like I don't want to get into that yet because we'll get to our top 5.
The other one I wanted to mention is I think I was a little harsh on the Butthead experience.
Yeah.
Although I do, it's just kind of like a quick fantasy he's having.
Yeah, that's the problem with it.
I think the insight on Butthead in that moment, and that I think it's good insight.
Yeah,
on that character. And,
it is. It's always fun for me when we go inside their heads because it's so not reality.
Yeah,
and it's fun to see this little kind of picture of what he wants to be, which is professional air musician, like air guitarist. I don't even know. And the animation's really fun.
That's why because the image of him doing air guitar and shit like it's also such a big part of the show.
But the button is an unrelated fart joke, and there's there's some terrible things about it, but it's not a fully thought out story, but it is a good slice of life for Butthead. I don't hate it, I don't love it, but it's it's fine, and it's part of the history of the show, and it's certainly better than some of the other episodes.
Did you have any that you, looking back, you would rate higher? Or let's not. Well, I guess that would give away what what we have here.
Yeah, because I think I would actually, looking back, I think I would rate my number 1 higher. But the whole thing with the neighbor, Tom Anderson's episodes were all over the place, and I kept saying I like this one better than that one, and in the end, I think they all kind of fell in different places than I thought they did when I was watching them. I like I said, Home Improvement's better than Lawn and Garden. I think Lawn and Garden is better than Home Improvement. And I think washing the dog is better than both of those. Even though I think I specifically said otherwise when we were reviewing them.
Yeah.
But yeah, that episode really kind of came out.
I think rating these in order is it makes it rough because you're like, once you're looking back at them, you're like, that was a better version of that, destroying Tom Anderson's home.
Yeah.
That whatever the trope is for the episode. I got one we'll get into where they've used the same trope, reused it, and it still sucked.
Yeah.
But I guess with that, do you want to start with our bottom fives?
Sure.
Are these ranked?
Mine are ranked.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll say my bottom five first. Was Yogurt's Cool. Did you have that one on your list, or?
No, I had that somewhere in the middle, I think.
Yeah, it's fine. I don't have anything more to say about it. It's there. Nothing happens. It's more that they just, I think, wanted to kind of dump on TCBY and like the yogurt craze of the time than actually like tell a story.
Yeah. That one I thought I think it landed in the middle for me because they had the great running through the mall.
Yeah.
Animation.
That was all right. Yeah, I could see that, but there's other, I don't know. I'm not crazy about that one. That's my bottom. That's my number 5. Bottom 5.
Okay. Yeah, mine is Sick.
Okay, yeah, that would have been like number 6 for me. I think the guy with the fork in his head is funny.
I don't even remember that. All I remember is just this, they're being snotty and being most of the joke.
It's hard to watch. I'll give it that. But I still think there's some funny scenes in there. But yeah, that was kind of an honorable mention for me.
It's an okay joke somehow on the healthcare system.
Yeah.
But it's also wasn't it one of the earliest season 2 episodes?
Yeah. In fact, it's so early that when I was trying to think about it the other day, I got it confused a lot with Give Blood. The season 1 episode.
Yeah. Another one where they're in the hospital.
Yeah. Which, yeah, it's not great, but it like I said, I think there's a guy with a fork in his head who just keeps like saying gibberish, and he shows up in random times, and I think he's funny.
Yeah, it's a good,
which is like why he kind of eked its way off of my bottom 5.
Yeah, so on my bottom 5, I started with like my highest one is 2.5 because I didn't have very many ones or
Yeah.
We'll get to it, but
I didn't write down the scores with my list, but yeah, a lot of mine are ones. Speaking of ones, number 4, I have Signed Here.
Okay, I've got it lower, but
yeah,
it's just not good, and it's the one I mentioned a few minutes ago that I said, where they use this same sort of trope.
Yeah,
because this is almost a remake of Door to Door from season 1.
Yeah, it is,
and both of them stink.
Yeah, in fact, the thing that we watched this on has this listed as a season 1 episode, and I think it's because of confusion.
Yeah, because they're so similar.
Yeah.
They're just kind of 2 different excuses to get them to go door to door, and that's that's a good idea, but
yeah, but then that becomes more about like the freak show of the rest of Highland, and I don't know. I feel like it's trying to make other funny characters happen, and
yeah. Yeah, it's just to show how weird the rest of the town is, and I would like to see that, but it just needs. I think it needs to be done better.
Yeah, none of the jokes really land for me in this one.
Yeah, it's their interactions with these people they're both weird, and so there's no straight man thing going on, or like and I know that's the case with most of the characters in this show, but for whatever reason, I think it's better when it's like the sort of established, Tom Anderson, Buzzcut, and Andrew, like those are better characters than anybody we meet door to door.
Ooh, drunk guy that fell over. He's a memorable character.
We do see, Bubba a couple of times, and some of them, but I don't know. It just wasn't done well.
No.
My next one 4 is customers suck.
That's fair.
I don't really remember. Oh, it's when Anderson's waiting for too long, or
no,
it's not Anderson, it's Stewart's dad.
Yeah, it's right? Stewart's dad and the principal, McVicker.
Oh, yeah.
Before he's ever portrayed as the principal, he's just a customer at Burger World at this point. Although I think Mike Judge knew who he was at that point, but it doesn't really get revealed.
Oh yeah, he shows up later and happens to be the principal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just them being inept, and that's kind of funny. But it didn't really go anywhere for me.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's fair. I didn't have that one in my bottom 5, but yeah, it's definitely not the best. My number 3 I had At the Movies, which I feel like maybe didn't make your bottom 5.
Yeah, it's in the I had it somewhere in the middle.
Yeah. And I can understand that. I don't like Beavis and Butt-Head holding up toes to mock someone, like severed body parts. I think that's
Mike Judge's
over the line.
R. Crumb era. Well, my number 3 was Sign Here, so we covered that one.
We did. Yeah, but with At the Movies, it just didn't feel like Beavis and Butt-Head to me. They're smart and they're mischievous to a point where it's downright criminal acts.
And they were too good at it in that episode.
Yeah, they were way too good at it. They knew, like, they had the plumbing blueprints for the movie theater. Like, how they figured all this out is beyond me. But it didn't feel like, it felt almost like an episode of a different show to me. But yeah, there's not much more to say about it. Number 2, I had Heroes.
Okay. I have that at number 1 is the worst.
Fair enough.
One. I hated it.
Yeah.
I won't say I hate it. I don't hate any of these. If it was on a marathon, I wouldn't skip any of them.
Yeah. That's fair. It's part of the show. It's part of the history of the show, and I appreciate, and when we get there, it'll be fun to talk about that he got to remake this episode. Joe Stillman, the writer of Heroes, Knew it was a failure and got to actually make a good version of the episode. I believe that one's called To the Rescue. It's from season 5.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think even Mike Judge has said, like, you know, he has the Mike Judge collection. Like, there's a lot of episodes that he hates.
Yeah.
That he doesn't think represent the characters.
Yeah, it's just the pure physics of this one are so kind of off-putting that it's like, at some point you got to reel in like the cartoonness. It's fun. Okay, they blow up a grenade at the end of Be All We Can Be. Fine, but like they shoot down an airplane with a gun. What am I even watching? Like,
yeah. And that one was, did they skip that one later on after that was one of the banned episodes?
Yeah, this was a banned episode because they didn't want people to try to shoot airplanes down with guns. Yeah, it's it was a first attempt from someone who just started writing, and that's the case for a lot of things in season 2.
Yeah, I think too. You have to remember a lot of the writers and even the animators for this were coming from like they were doing ads for MTV and stuff like that. So,
but still, he started here and ended up being one of the writers of Shrek. So
yeah, yeah. I don't know.
But blow up.
I don't know if it's if Joe Stillman specifically was one of those guys, but they had their, and the people that would write the commercials for MTV, like the cab driver and like all those different kind of.
His episodes are fairly late in the season, so he might have been a later hire, like someone specifically hired to write Beavis and Butt-Head.
Yeah, it would probably be the early episodes of the season.
Yeah,
and then whoever was good, maybe they stuck around, or
because Heroes even is like 20 episodes in.
Yeah.
So
my two from the bottom, -2 is Baby Makes 3.
That's my number 1.
Yeah, that just sucked. It was just dumb. It was another good premise, but it was like they just kick it and throw it in the water, so I don't remember.
Yeah, they throw it in a lake, and that's the end of the story. This episode is relying heavily on
infanticide.
Well, I'm not remembering his name. The gym teacher yelling. Buzzcut. This is a Buzzcut episode, but it's a Buzzcut episode setting up the premise. Like, Buzzcut sets up the premise in a really funny way, and then the premise just gets completely dropped and abandoned.
Yeah,
it's
very similar to No Laughing. It's like kind of an uneven Buzzcut appearance.
Yeah, exactly. Like he is very funny in a lot of other things. He's very funny here, honestly. It's just they just dropped the premise.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like they knew they had something with that character.
Yeah.
And but all the focus ended up on that.
Yeah, and it's like they didn't feel like they needed to write the episode from there. Like, oh yeah, because I want to see that episode. Like, Beavis and Butt-Head have to take care of an egg or a bag of sugar, or that baby thing that everyone has to do at some point in high school.
Right.
Like, that's a good premise for a Beavis and Butt-Head episode, and that's not what we see here. That's supposed to be what we see here. It's set up that that's what we see here. But no, we get Buzzcut yelling some gay jokes. And that's fine or whatever, but
Yeah, I feel like these two these two buzz cut episodes are sort of reverse engineered.
Yeah.
In this season, where they have this funny idea of like Buzzcut yelling at them about something.
Yeah, but then the story just isn't there for the rest of the episode.
Just kind of, they've written in it just around having that scene. Yeah,
exactly. So, I really don't like this episode. Again, Buzzcut's funny in it, but it just drops off so hard after that. It's like, why even make the episode about anything other than him yelling?
You're right.
Disappointing.
And then my worst one was Heroes as well. Yeah, that's in there. Which again, I didn't. It is a cartoon, so at this point in the cartoon, in the series, it's like they're still figuring it out and everything.
Yeah,
and the logic of the trajectory of the gun and everything doesn't bother me as much as like just it's a big deal to shoot down an airplane.
Yeah,
and it just kind of like they're just back home on the couch watching it on the news.
Yeah,
and yeah, they have, they're looking for them or whatever. They had like artists, sketch, police sketch artists, drawings of them in this one.
I like that.
So that was good, but
I think those same sketch drawings come back in season 3.
Dude, I feel like the one of Butthead is what in the revival season 2 or 3 when Beavis accidentally follows that other guy around.
Yeah,
it looks exactly like that police sketch.
It kind of does. Yeah.
That's our 5 worst episodes of this season.
Yeah.
I hate saying worst because again, I don't hate anything from this show, but this is what we're doing here. These are the worst ones. These of this season.
Yeah, they're all better than season 1.
Yeah, that's true. There's a reason.
I was just thinking about that, and maybe it's because like a big Simpsons creator, the Real Jims, just put out a video about the Tracy Ullman version of The Simpsons, and I was like kind of drawing parallels in my mind between Tracy Ullman and Beavis and Butt-Head season 1. They're really kind of,
the proof of concept.
Yeah, they're things in sort of the same process of development, which is like the way adult animation was coming up at the time, because it was this like new idea, this new like format.
So Beavis and Butt-Head is 93, right?
92
into 93.
Or I think it's solidly like started in 93.
Yeah, we've been reading the dates. I have a terrible memory.
Yeah,
The Simpsons was right around like within a couple of years.
The Liquid Television stuff might have started in 1992, but I'm not 100%.
I think that's what that show started in 92 for sure.
Yeah, so but
and then the Simpsons are on Tracy Ullman in 89.
Yeah. And some of the season 1 is like re-airs of
from those shorts.
But it's just kind of interesting to see these things develop. But I wouldn't really go and watch season 1 episodes just for fun. Well, maybe if they had the videos in them, but
yeah,
overall, like it's rough storytelling, but it's from like a very new creator, not new network, but not a network that made stories happen.
Yeah. The whole Liquid Television was them, like, I think it was, a lot of those were submitted like this, like through animation festivals and stuff.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like, what MTV ended up being, but it wasn't like the corporate giant like just pumping out.
Yeah, and even Liquid Television, MTV wasn't producing that content.
Yeah,
it was a showcase of content that was already produced. So Beavis and Butthead was really, foreign territory for everyone involved.
Yeah, like these indie animators and stuff that got exploited by MTV. All right, well, that being done, we will get into our top five, our 5 favorites of season 2 here. These were harder to put in any kind of order because they're all 4s, and I have one 4.5.
Yeah.
So they're all kind of neck and neck, very solid, but so don't take my order too seriously. But I'm going to start with Babes R Us at 5.
That is on my list, but it is higher up for me.
Okay. Yeah, it is. It's a very brief Daria appearance.
Yeah, but iconic nonetheless.
Walking by.
They're gonna love you guys.
Yeah, I like the. This is the Beavis and Butthead I like. This is where they're dumb teenage guys, and they have this goofy idea. And they think they're being smart by we're gonna train in the yard before we go down to the mud wrestling thing.
Yeah,
and and they end up embarrassing themselves. They don't know they're embarrassed, but
really funny physical comedy stuff in there. I really like this episode.
Yeah. I'm not sure what all I don't remember. Do they go buy the bathing suits in that? Or they have them on hand?
They have them on hand. I think you might be thinking of the one where they try on jock straps in season 3. Daria's in that one too.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it was just a fun one, and another one of those. The image of them mud wrestling, is in the the closing montage and stuff like that. I think
there's some iconic images here. I feel like the animation in the second half is a little rough. Like David Spade's character doesn't quite feel like he's finished drawing wise, but for the most part, I love this episode.
Yeah, David Spade cameo.
Yeah.
What do you have at number 5?
I have Stewart's House.
Stewart's House. Yeah, that's another one. My next 4 would have been pretty interchangeable here. Yeah, Stewart's House. The iconic. The beginning of the Stewart trope, where they go to Stewart's to take advantage of his parents being attentive. In a weird way.
This goes harder than later examples. But it's still early on in the show. You want to kind of pop it, make it big. Blowing up his house was a little much. This is a banned episode for good reason.
Yeah.
I mean, it's on Paramount Plus with the music videos and everything right now. But
yeah, it was.
But it didn't air on MTV very much.
Well, this is where we get the warning on it.
Yeah.
Unless you're cartoon characters filling up a house with gas.
Yeah. Well, that's been done a couple times. They also, when they swallowed the condoms, in Down Mexico Way, which is pretty middling episode, but fun and on the journey of of what Beavis and Butthead would become. I don't hate Down Mexico Way. It's fine.
It establishes Stewart really well.
Yeah, it does.
You immediately get a sense, and this is what Stewart is for the rest of his life. We find out in the
yeah, especially more so in the season 3 portrayal than the season 1 portrayal.
Yeah.
Although I do think, like, the way they draw him and stuff, and I think his voice at this point, I think he's supposed to be a little younger. I think he's supposed to be 11 or 12, whereas later Stewart's like 13 or 14.
He gets closer to their age.
Yeah. And because, yeah, even into season 3, I think it's implied that they do go to high school together. I think in the future it's more like he's a freshman and they're sophomores.
Yeah, I think in my mind, he's like a grade behind them.
But yeah, in this case, he's more like a little kid that's like following around some teenagers because he thinks they're cool. And that's still the case later, but he's aged up a little bit.
Yeah, it seems like
it's more it's more casual.
It could just be a case of like, like we mentioned The Simpsons, like the early Bart voice versus what it ends up being.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. Or, Homer more stands out the most of the voice change, but
yeah. That's a big difference. Yeah.
Where are we at? Number 4, man. Yeah, these are all pretty much Friday night.
Friday night is good. I have that higher on my list as well.
Yeah, the shoplifting, the the biker chick using them and
yeah, and them not knowing that they're being used.
Yeah, even when she drops them off, they're still happy to have just been near a hot chick.
Yeah, it's a fun like dichotomy. You see like how they're reacting to the situation and how she's reacting to the situation, and they have like completely different motives and ideas of what's happening.
Right.
And that's really fun.
Yeah.
So, and that's a bit of a turnaround because this is also Joe Stillman. This is the same guy that wrote Heroes. So, he had it in him.
Yeah,
I think he just wanted to play around with too many things and got too excited.
I think it's also an episode where the thing that they're being tricked into is like could happen to almost any teenage boy.
Yeah, and we like that here.
Yeah, when they're I like the episodes where they're doing like things that you would have done at that age.
Yeah, like when
happened.
Butthead got his braces off.
Braces.
In the season 3 of the new series
revival.
And yeah, when they're just teenage boys, that is a really fun dynamic for me. But yeah, I love this episode. It's great.
Yeah, and then they just kind of in the end they're just kind of standing there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have that at 3. Is that where we're at?
No, because I haven't. I'm still at number 4. I had Washing the Dog.
Okay. I don't have that in mind.
That's fair.
But it's probably I had a lot more 4s.
Yeah.
So it's not. This was tough to.
I like them riding around in the washing machines or dryers or whatever it is. I like the dog being dizzy.
Another image that they would reuse quite a lot in the closing montage. Yeah, but yeah, that's a great like just classic Tom Anderson.
Yeah.
Tomfoolery.
Yeah, and it's one I remember fondly from back then, but I think it still holds up. It's a decent episode. All right. So what did you have for number 3?
Stuart's house.
Fair enough. Yeah, it's a good episode for, like, it's over the top. Beavis and Butthead would be toned down a bit in later appearances, but it's a really fun episode,
Yeah.
Well, I had Be All You Can Be
At number 3?
at number 3, yeah.
Okay. I have that higher.
Fair enough.
Yeah, because I think it's just, it's it's a good joke about the military. American military and stuff like that. It's it works on a bunch of different levels.
Yeah.
Where, like, you don't have to see it that way. You can just see it as a situation that Beavis and Butthead are in, and this is like one weird guy doing it.
Yeah.
But the ad they show for the military in it, the parody, that is great. The sergeant, and the fact that they were able to differentiate him from Buzzcut, the other military guy they've had in there, and Tom Anderson's an old military guy.
Yeah, but he does feel like a totally new character.
Yeah, it's not like they're doing one stereotype of military guys either. Like, they're doing multiple stereotypes, and they all work really well. Yeah, and then, like, the physical comedy with the him playing with a grenade, or them playing with the grenade while he's talking, and
he gets the glass in the face.
Yeah, but he's like totally fine with it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that happens. You'll have that when grenades go off.
Yeah. I like Be All You Can Be. It's a really good one.
That's your number 3?
Yeah.
All right. Number 2, I have scientific stuff.
Okay. Yeah, that didn't quite make my list. It's a good episode.
Yeah, it was that's the first real Daria story.
Yeah, it is.
And what I love about it is it's finally like somebody actually noticing that these two are different.
Yeah.
Because they acknowledge them as just annoying most of the show.
Yeah.
But Daria actually finally is like, what the F is with these two?
She's like fascinated with them. It's almost like that lady that like went and studied the chimps,
She's the Jane Goodall
of Highland. She's the Jane Goodall of Highland. Which, it's not this like completely negative relationship though. She doesn't just like look down at them. She had like there's some love for Beavis and Butthead within Daria. Like she's not just
in some way
always looking down on them,
in some way she finds their stupidity endearing.
Yeah.
And just kind of a like, oh, what else would they be? Like, like this is just who they are. And she thinks they're dumb, but
I just think that makes for a better character, like
I also, because later
relationship than you would see in other like depictions of I don't know. I think it's just better to have that sort of love, like somewhere in there she doesn't hate these guys,
Yeah, she has some sort of sympathy for them, and just accepting the idea that, well, these two are idiots, let's study these idiots.
Because she could have been this like totally detached, oh god, I hate these guys. She's embarrassed by them a lot, but she's on some level she cares.
She's hanging out with them in the end, like watching TV. I think, later on in Daria, and you can decide for yourself how much you want to let this inform it, but there's a line in her spinoff where somebody says something about Highland, and she says, "Yeah, there was a nuclear." There's some reference to like the people in Highland having been affected by nuclear radiation.
Yeah, and I was saying that actually kind of holds up if you look at, like this area of the show, like door to door, the people are like deformed.
Yeah, there's so many just crazy looking characters.
But maybe things got cleared up because in 2026 or 2022 on, Beavis and Butt-Head are really the only deformed characters in all of Highland.
I mean, it's also they've been brought into the future.
Yeah, they've been brought into the future, and I'm thinking that radiation leak got contained in between, when they were in the wormhole.
Yeah. Highland has definitely had been developed a lot in the last 30 years.
Now the high schoolers in Highland have like pretty uniform faces.
Yeah. Yeah, they and the school looks bigger and everything.
Yeah.
It's I like to think of it as like, it's a bunch of billionaires went to Highland and started building in town on top of
and they would have taken care of that radiation leak.
Developed it, yeah.
In the midst of all that, I think.
Right. Or a lot of those people aren't from Highland. They've just, it's become it's the new Austin, Texas. There's all these people moving there. But I think that kind of, I always think of that when I see Daria interact with them, where she's like, she knows she's a normal person in this town, and like to her, these two aren't more dumb than the rest of the town.
That's a good point.
They're just typical like of Highland, so she's fine with them.
Yeah. Number 2, I had Friday Night.
Okay. Yeah, we kind of went over that one. Number 1 then. My number 1 was Be All You Can Be.
Fair enough.
It was the only one I had at 4.5.
It's good.
I don't know if you're noticing the trend, but any of the ones that are like kind of social or political commentary and a very subtle, where he was sneaking that in.
Yeah, it's fun.
I enjoy that.
Yeah, and they had taken another swipe at the military earlier in the season. I think it was in Yogurt School, where he's like, "Do you guys have 7 teeth?"
Oh, yeah. You can tell Mike Judge grew up in an area where there were like a lot of overbearing, like I'm a veteran. Well, we talked about that one. What's your number 1?
My number 1 was Babes Are Us. I really do think it's the best of the season. It's really some of the really great Beavis and Butt-Head getting their asses kicked, both by each other and by Thor, the ape man. But yeah, it's
recurring character.
If I could do this over, I would give this one 5 stars, I think. And yeah, and the Daria appearance is iconic. I almost feel like that could have been the pitch for the spinoff, was just to show this clip. Like, her character is so... It's only like, a minute, but her character really shines, I think.
Yeah, she just walks by and talks to them for a second and is one of the more memorable parts of it.
Yeah, and of course that is where the diarrhea cha-cha-cha comes from. I think it's the only time in the series that they do it. But people remember that line.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. I have heard it a million times since then.
So I feel like this is the closest thing to like a season 4 episode of Beavis and Butthead that we see at this point. Like I said, it took me a while to really warm up to this, and I think it's because some of the animation is kind of rougher.
You mean just in the overall season?
Yeah, well, this episode too, just like it's become one of my favorite episodes, and I thought of it as more of a middling episode earlier, when I just kind of watched like everything that was on Paramount Plus, and didn't really I hadn't seen every episode of Beavis and Butthead. I think this really kind of shines, because before I think I thought it was a little cruder, but I really like this episode, and I think it stands up to the rest of the series actually, fairly well.
I don't mind the animation in these early episodes. Yeah. I like like I mentioned the multiple times the R. Crumb influence.
Yeah.
Because it had never occurred to me until we were talking about I forget what episode it was, but when I watch these now, I'm like, wow, how did I miss that? And
some of these animation sequences are amazing, and maybe weren't in episodes that I like that much, like Bedpans and Broomsticks. That's one of the best like them running through the hospital is one of the best animation sequences in this season.
Yeah.
It's just I couldn't take all the fat jokes. I couldn't put that in my top 5. But
yeah, and there's a lot of that where it's like the animation is great. Like even in something like Heroes. Yeah, the animation of the plane falling them, like that's not it's you can see what they're doing.
Yeah, and even like we were talking about the Butthead experience, like that is a really well animated sequence.
Right.
I wouldn't call it an episode exactly. I mean, it is an episode of Beavis and Butthead, but it's not a story. It's more of just a dream sequence that's kind of framed within Burger World.
Yeah. So I think now that we've reviewed all of season 2, my ratings might have more 5s and 1s.
Yeah.
In season 3, because this whole season was kind of like you can see the growth from beginning to end here.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of these last episodes are what the show becomes.
Yeah, and I'm going to start writing down ratings as we're doing them so we have like a reference to what we said about the earlier episodes. I started doing that about halfway through this season. But I think it'll be easier to keep track of if we actually do that and have it written down for every episode in season 3, which is coming soon to this very YouTube channel.
Yeah, if you've been following along, thank you. We'll start posting season 3 soon. This season 2 wrap up here, we're gonna, there'll be a couple of things we're gonna try to do differently and improve on and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So,
well, just as we're watching Beavis and Butthead improve, this show is hopefully improving along the way.
Yeah, we're working on the studio and getting better organized and stuff like that as we review these. But yeah, that's it for season 2. Thank you.
Drive through.